loves, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to cook quinoa. Quinoa is an absolute staple in my kitchen because of so many benefits that it has. So I'll just give you a little bit of a background about what it is and then show you how to make it. It's really super fast, super easy. I'll give tips along the way of how you can make it. There's few ways of preparing quinoa. So what is quinoa? Quinoa is called the mother of the grain, even though technically it's a seed, but it is used as a whole grain, and it has a gazillion health benefits. And the most important one, especially for a vegetarian or vegan diet, is that it's a really high source of protein, iron, magnesium, fiber. It's really amazing. It has a very mild nutty flavor and sort of a crunchy texture, which I absolutely love, and it's so versatile. It can be used in so many variations, from breakfast to lunch and dinner, really anything, and even dessert, I think. So in the mornings you can use it as porridge, at lunchtime you can use it in salads, you can add it to soups, pilafs, all kinds of things, and I'm going to be sharing with you a lot of recipes in the future using quinoa. So I thought it's appropriate to do a separate video on how to prepare it, and it's really super quick and easy, and really is the same process as, let's say, preparing rice. So quinoa has been cultivated for thousands and thousands of years, and there are thousands of different varieties, but the most common ones that you will most likely see in supermarkets are these types of golden light ones. There's also black ones and red ones, or sometimes you'll see them all mixed in together. So we're gonna need some quinoa, we're gonna need some sea salt, and a cup, a measuring cup. I'm just gonna use this one right here because I already kind of know how much I'm gonna need. And we're also going to need a fine mesh strainer, something like this. So that's really all we need for today, so let's get started. Okay, so 1 cup quinoa yields about 3 cooked cups once it's been prepared. So again, when I cook, I just eyeball, but really it's the same ratio as cooking rice. So I'm gonna cook about this much. So what you wanna do is rinse the quinoa first, because some people find it to have a little bit of a bitter taste, and that is just from the outer layer of quinoa, and it's really easy to remove it. You just have to rinse it off. So what we're gonna do is rinse it under cold running water vigorously, and you want to just kind of go in there with your hands and just give it a quick rinse. Okay, so next I'm going to transfer it over into a pot. There's actually different steps and different ways of cooking quinoa. I know of some people who like to sort of toast it, dry toast it in some olive oil or whatever oil you prefer. I kind of skip that step and I just go straight into the boiling. So once you've transferred it over into a pot, it's time to add your water and your salt. So like I mentioned, it's 1 part quinoa and 2 part water. So we're gonna do the same amount in water that we had quinoa. So 2 cups of the same amount. So right about there. Okay, so once you've transferred it into a pot, we're gonna just put the heat on, and we're gonna start with high heat and bring it to a rolling boil. You want to make sure that it starts to boil, and at this point I'm going to add about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, or just to taste, and this is just sea salt here. I should also mention, but this step is completely optional and it's totally up to your taste. You can add a little bit of oil just to the quinoa while it's boiling. But I'm going to add just a touch of olive oil, just right like that right there, and it just helps to soften the quinoa and give it a nice flavor while it's boiling. So I'm gonna keep the pot uncovered while it's getting to a boiling stage. Okay, so as you can tell here, it's at a rolling boil. So at this point I'm going to cover the pot, and you want to lower the heat to the lowest setting possible, so right about there, and you want to leave it to simmer for about 15 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes that the quinoa has been simmering, so I think it's probably right about ready right now. So you can see that all the water has evaporated and it's gotten, like, it really fluffed up. So at this stage, what you want to do is turn off the heat completely and cover the pot and leave it for 5 minutes. This is very important to get that fluffy texture. So just leave the pot covered for 5 minutes and we'll be back in 5. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes that we let the quinoa set. So now it's time to just kind of go in with a fork and fluff it up a little bit to get that texture going. Go in with the fork and gently fluff it up. The more it gets a chance to cool down and sort of settle in, the more fluffier and separated it's going to become. So there you have it, guys. This is how you get the quinoa to get to that really beautiful fluffy texture. So at this point, really, once it's got a chance to settle in and it's all fluffy, this is kind of a base for everything else. And you can flavor it with so many things. You could actually boil the quinoa with some favorite stock of yours, like a veggie stock or something like that, and add any kind of spices during the boiling process. But for today, I wanted to give you the basic 101 on what is quinoa and how to prepare it. So here it is, really pretty, beautiful, and delicious. It is the perfect texture. It's so delicious, you guys. If you've never tried quinoa, this is your time to do it. I hope you can find it wherever you live. If not, maybe you can try to find it online. Be sure to subscribe to this channel because I will be sharing tons of recipes using quinoa and other recipes as well, healthy, delicious recipes in the future, so you don't miss any of them. And be sure to follow me on Instagram for daily pictures. I share a lot of what I eat and drink. So anyways, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, my loves.